Hi everybody and welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Elsie.
And we're on day 2 of our discussion, our dialogue article about camping trips. Yesterday we found that Sean, Ting and Olivia are off on a camping trip. The weather forecast is good, although they know that in Taiwan that can change in an instant.
Right, and then they find some flat ground to set up their tent.
Yep, you need it flat.
There are trees all around to protect them from the winds.
Which is useful, although some wind will help blow away the insects. So they try to set up their tents in this nice spot, but Sean is struggling. He can't get the tent put up. He finds the whole process frustrating.
Right, Ting takes over and starts threading the poles through the hoops.
Sean has just given up. He says he'll set up the stove and cooking stuff instead.
Olivia wants to go for a hike, but they'll only have time if Sean gets a move on.
Right, they all want to go out before it gets dark and check out the local area. Now, what else are they going to do on their camping trip? Let's read through day 2 of our article and find out.
Reading. A night with nature. 3 friends go camping. Sean, Ting, and Olivia return to their campsite after a short hike. It's late in the afternoon.
That was fun. The view from the top was spectacular. Taiwan has some beautiful scenery.
It's so nice to be in nature. I feel so calm and relaxed out here. Sometimes it's good to escape the city.
I totally agree. Now let's start cooking before it gets dark. Sean, grab the cooler. I'll get the fire started.
Ting cooks some fried noodles. Not long after, they finish eating.
That was delicious, Ting. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. Sean, you can wash the plates and utensils in the campsite's bathroom. Olivia and I will collect all the food waste and trash. We need to leave this place as clean as we found it.
They finish cleaning.
Now that dinner is done, who's ready for a classic campsite dessert? Marshmallows and chocolate cookies.
They roast marshmallows and chat around the campfire.
Oh my! Look up, guys! The sky is full of stars!
Wow!
You guys are the best. Thanks for inviting me this weekend.
So again, we start with some description so we can see what has been going on. Sean, Ting, and Olivia return to their campsite after a short hike. It's late in the afternoon. So they've had a walk, the sun's starting to go down, the shadows are getting longer. They certainly don't want to be wandering around in the dark, so they've headed back to their campsite.
我们在第2天的课文当中看到呢，3个人在傍晚的时候回到了营地。And then Sean says, that was fun. The view from the top was spectacular.
So here we're using view as a noun, and we mean something you can see from a particular place. Usually something that's nice to look at, and we generally mean kind of the everything that you can see from a place. You could talk about a view from a hotel room. In other words, all you can see. Do you have a view of the beach, a view of the mountains, a view of the big hotel next to you with its wall, whatever it happens to be. We could say views of nature. People go to places to see nature. And you can say you can get great views of Taipei from the top of Taipei 101 on a clear day.
View 指的是呢，你眼睛所能看到的景色跟风景。那欣赏景色风景，我们可以说 admire the view。那景色如果是优美壮丽的，你可以用 beautiful， 或是 breathtaking、magnificent， 或是这里用到的 spectacular 也是可以的。
Right, and all those words kind of mean the same thing. Beautiful, breathtaking, magnificent, wonderful, amazing, great, glorious, spectacular. Basically, it's great to look at, the sort of thing that makes you go, whoa, wow, that's cool. I'm going to stand here and look at it for a while, take some photos. just sit here and enjoy it for a while. The noun form is a spectacle. If something is a spectacle, you really want to look at it.
OK， 所以这个形容词的中文解释呢是引人入胜的、非常壮观的 spectacular。
Sean adds, Taiwan has some beautiful scenery. The word scenery means things to look at, and we usually use this word to mean nice things, natural things, nature, views of nature in a particular place. We could use the word scenery to mean all the things in the background. If you're on stage doing a play or in the background of a movie, that is the scenery. But generally, when people say beautiful scenery, we mean nice, natural views of places. When you go on a trip somewhere, you go and check out the scenery. What does it look like? What are the beautiful views? So we might say, for example, Taiwan's east coast is famous for its scenery.
Scenery 这个字呢，指的就是风景本身啦。不过它是一个不可数名词，要特别小心。那像是呢 mountains, hills, lakes, rivers 这些都能够构成风景。那上这边说呢 ，Taiwan has some beautiful scenery， 它用的就是 some 来带出 scenery 这个字，记得它是不可数名词。
Yeah, that means it's got lots of different things to see, all in different parts of the island. And of course, you get mountains, you get forests, you get beaches and cliffs, lakes and rivers, the whole works. And of course, nice natural views have an effect on people. And this is what Olivia talks about. She says, "It's so nice to be in nature. I feel so calm and relaxed out here." If you are relaxed, you are not stressed. You're able to take it easy. You're not hurrying. You're not worrying about things. Nothing is bothering you or thinking, oh, I've got to do that, or I've got to finish this, or what about this? No, all of that is gone. You can just take it easy and enjoy life. You might say, our boss is a pretty relaxed person. She never loses her control, even when things are difficult at work.
Relaxed 这个形容词呢，那就是放松的，所以你可以用 be 动词带出来 be relaxed 或是 feel relaxed。那一个人看起来好像很放松的样子 he or she looks relaxed。那相反，如果你压力很大，感到紧绷 you feel stressed。那另外还有一个形容词呢，我们看到的是 calm， 这个形容词代表冷静平静的，或是风平浪静的。像是呢，我们可以说 she's a calm person， 她是一个冷静的人。那如果你要说海面风平浪静，你可以说 the sea is calm。
And Olivia adds, sometimes it's good to escape the city.
Olivia 这边说呢，有的时候啊，远离城市生活也是不错的。And then Ting says, I totally agree. Now let's start cooking before it gets dark. Sean, grab the cooler.
A cooler just means a box where you can put like bits of ice and cool things in there. And it's like a little fridge that you walk around with. It'll keep your food cool. Not for too long, a couple of days before, or hours, depending on which one you have, before you have to freeze everything again, clean it out, and so on. But she tells Sean to grab it. Now, the word grab means to quickly and casually take hold of. So she's not saying, Sean, carefully pick the cooler up and put it down. She's just saying, reach behind you with your hand and just drag it over. He doesn't need to be super careful. You might say, for example, I was in a hurry, so I grabbed my bag and ran quickly out of the door.
Grab something 代表的是快速的拿取、抓取某物，所以你可以 grab a bag, grab a bottle, 或是 grab somebody's hand 抓住某个人的手，好，也可以用这个字。那如果呢，有的时候午休时间短，没有时间去餐厅吃饭，你可以跟同事说 Let's grab something to eat， 那就是随便买点东西吃，或者是呢 Let's grab a bite to eat。
So Ting then says, I'll get the fire started, which with a gas cooker is a little bit easier. You just go, turn, fire, boom, there we go.
没错，那接下来呢，我们看到 Ting cooked some fried noodles not long after they finish eating.
Okay, so they're doing something a little more complicated with their fire. Often if you're just going out camping, you bring some instant noodles, boil water on the stove and pour that water on your noodles. she's actually frying something as well. So they seem to have a few more ingredients. They're cooking something with a bit of oil. So they've finished eating and they feel a lot happier, maybe, and more satisfied than just eating instant noodles. Olivia says, "That was delicious, Ting. Thanks so much."
没错，所以 Ting 他就炒面，然后大家吃完都觉得很开心。那接下来 Ting 就说啦 ，You are very welcome, Sean. You can wash the plates and utensils in the campsite's bathroom.
Okay, so I suppose if she cooks, somebody else should do the cleaning up.
Yeah, it seems like Sean has so much to do.
Well, if he can't put up a tent, he needs to help out in other ways.
Right.
So, yes, he is being sent to wash up the plates and utensils. And note, we say he's going to the campsite's bathroom. That tells us a bit more about the place they're in. This isn't just a big open space in the mountains somewhere. This is a real campsite. There is a bathroom for everybody to use. There's probably some showers there, certainly some toilets so they don't have to just run off into the trees. There's maybe a snack machine, a small shop, somebody who can help them out with things. So he is going to wash up his utensils. A utensil, it's kind of like saying a thing or a tool, but it's for a specific purpose. If you said utensils for, say, painting your nails, you would have different types of brushes, knives, scissors, all of that kind of stuff. Utensils for other activities could involve almost anything. Here, we're talking about eating utensils. So, knives, forks, spoons, and chopsticks.
Utensil 这个字呢，指的是用具。那这里因为他们在露营，他们在煮东西，所以指的是烹调或是进食的用具。像是你会用到的刀子啦、叉子、汤匙、筷子，这些都叫做 utensils。那银质的餐具呢，我们可以用 silverware 来代表，但这个字就不可数了。
Silverware is kind of a fancy word for it. You can also say cutlery, C-U-T-L-E-R-Y, cutlery. So Ting then says, Olivia and I will collect all the food waste and trash. So it's not just Sean who's going off to clean up. Olivia and Ting are doing some cleaning up, any bits of leftover food, plastic and paper and their other stuff. But why are they doing all that? After all, they're out in nature. Nobody's going to know, right? It's not a restaurant. But as Ting points out, we need to leave this place as clean as we found it. In other words, don't mess up nature by leaving stuff behind.
是的，垃圾这些都要一起带走才对。那我们这边看到的动词 collect， 它有拿起并带走或是收拾整理的意思。所以 Ting 就说了，Olivia 跟我们会一起收拾厨余还有垃圾，我们需要让这个地方跟我们刚刚找到的时候一样的整洁。And then they finish cleaning.
Now that is, of course, one advantage of staying at a campsite, because a campsite will have big trash cans somewhere, and somebody who works for the national park or wherever will come over every couple of days and empty things out, so that there's no food in there to attract wild animals or stuff in there to pollute the environment. Now, if you did happen to be camping not in a proper official campsite like that, you really must clean after yourself. Don't leave bottles and bits of stuff everywhere. Leaving food remains is probably okay because that can be used as kind of, plants grow on it.
But not trash,
Not
right?
trash, not garbage. So, that's all done. They finish cleaning. Sean then says, now that dinner is done, who's ready for a classic campsite dessert? Now we've got a phrase here, now that. Now that is a phrase that connects the result of something that's already happened with what happens because this thing is over. We say now that and follow it with the thing that's already finished, and then in the next clause of the sentence, we follow with what comes next. So you might say, now that my homework is done, I can play computer games. Or, now that I've beaten this computer game, I can buy a new one or play it on hard mode or something like that.
Now that 在中文里面呢，我们会解释为既然或是由于。所以呢，听完 Pat 的解释，我们来看一个例句哦。你可以说 Now that everyone is here, let's start the meeting。代表既然大家都到了，那我们就开始我们的会议。
Right, Sean is saying we've eaten our fried noodles, we've cleaned up, we've washed the utensils and thrown away our trash. Now that all of this is done, we can have a classic campfire dessert. But what is it? He says, marshmallows and chocolate cookies. So what are we talking here? Marshmallows. This is a kind of a sweet, soft candy. It's made from sugar, water, and something called gelatin to make it all kind of sticky and stuff. I think they taste like soap.
Oh, you don't like it at all?
I can maybe have one or two, like especially in a hot chocolate, but they taste like soap after a while. I don't know why.
That bad?
Yeah.
Okay, marshmallow 指的就是棉花糖。
Yeah, not my favorite kind of candy. But what you can do, and what does make them taste a little better, is roasting them. We see in the article they roast marshmallows and chat around the campfire. I'll mention campfire in a moment. Let's look at the word roast, which is a verb. To roast something means you cook it either over flames directly, or if you have an oven, it's a dry heat, okay? So you would roast things like beef, ham, chickens and other birds like that. You put them in the oven for quite a long time and use a dry heat to cook them. If you're roasting marshmallows, you get them and you put them on a stick or a skewer. You just hold them over the flame until it's quite delicate, because too long and they go black and drip and melt, but not enough and you don't get that extra flavor. The idea is the flames make the sugar even kind of more sweet and delicious and melty and warm. But yeah, you can roast a whole lot of things. You can roast vegetables, meats, you can roast candy, that kind of stuff. You might say, we're going to roast a turkey for our Christmas dinner.
Roast 这个动词呢是烤的动作，所以在课文当中呢，他们烤的是 marshmallows， 也就是烤棉花糖。那可以烤什么呢？烤像是刚刚 Pat 提到了很多的肉类也是可以的 ，roast meat， 像是 roast a chicken， 烤鸡，或是 roast a turkey， 烤火鸡也可以。烤 potatoes 也行哦 ，roast potatoes.
Yeah, very tasty roast potatoes are. And they're going to do this over their campfire. Now, we learned yesterday they have a little cooking stove, which is going to be a stronger, more intense fire that you can use for cooking. A campfire is just a small fire that you build in a camp. You can use it for cooking, but the flames are not actually that hot. It'll take a long time to really cook anything more than just a sweet snack like a marshmallow. But they're also useful for warmth. They provide light. It's a kind of a friendly feeling you get. And you can build it out of little bits of wood and sticks and stuff. The important thing is you keep them controlled. Put a ring of stones around the outside so the fire doesn't spread. Keep an eye on the fire and make sure it goes out before you all go to bed.
Campfire 指的就是萤火 and then you sit around the campfire and chat with each other.
Exactly, you chat. To chat is to talk casually. You're not talking about deep subjects, at least not until like 2 in the morning or something like that. You're just talking about life, what's going on, stuff you enjoy. You're not dealing with any particular issues like a meeting would. You can use the word as a noun as well. Let's have a chat. Here's an example sentence. The friends sat in the coffee shop and chatted for several hours.
Chat 这个动作呢，就是闲谈聊天。Chat with somebody， 那就是和某人聊天。聊关于什么的事情呢？ You chat about something. So what are you guys chatting about? 你可能会问你的朋友，哎，你们在聊什么啊
Olivia then stops the chat and says, Oh my, look up, guys. The sky is full of stars.
Oh my 其实就是 Oh my God 的说法，但是呢，在日常英语当中会避免使用 God 这个字，表示对上帝的尊重。那这边呢 Sean and Tim 他们就一起说 Wow.
Yeah, they're all looking up at the stars. It's obviously a nice moment, and Olivia finishes things off by saying, You guys are the best. Thanks for inviting me this weekend. Okay, so that is the end of our article. We'll leave them there around the campfire under the stars and go to today's For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So in the article, we saw that Sean and Ting and Olivia were cleaning up, putting their trash away and things like that. And that leads to our chat question. We should try to protect the environment when we go camping. How can you make sure you are a clean camper?
We all should be a clean camper. I think you need to remember to pick up all the trash
Yes.
you create there. And don't hurt the plants
Yeah, you shouldn't...
in the campsite.
Yeah, you shouldn't go around just kind of knocking things down,
Right.
breaking it. You can do that. You should bring something, bring a bag, bring a garbage bag with you and just put all your trash in there. Then even if there is no garbage can nearby, it's easy enough to just take it home. Secondly, you can think, what are we going to take with us? Is there a way we can make sure we're not taking trash stuff? Instead of taking sandwiches from like a 7-Eleven, which have got packing around them, make some at home, put them in like a plastic box you can just take home and wash later. Then you won't have to worry about dealing with the trash.
That's right.
Elsie mentioned not like breaking plants and trees. If you need wood for a fire, you need to pick up fallen wood. For a start, if you break a branch off a tree, it's going to still be alive. Live wood does not burn that quickly or well. An old, dead, dry branch on the floor, that will burn well. So if you need firewood, don't go around breaking things off trees to burn. Pick it up off the ground.
Yeah, so pick up the trash, bring your own containers,
Yep.
and don't hurt the plants there.
Exactly. Those are all good pieces of advice. Have you guys got any more ideas? Have a think about it. But we are out of time. Thanks very much for watching. For English for You, I'm Pat.
I'm Elsie.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
View. Maggie built her house on top of a large hill, so it has views of the fields below. Scenery. The desert scenery around Nevada, U.S., looks really unique. There is sand, plants, and rocks. Relaxed. That cat isn't nervous at all. It's actually very calm and relaxed around you. Grab. Lisa forgot to grab her cell phone off the table because she was in such a hurry. Roast. Tim likes boiled potatoes and fried potatoes, but his favorite are potatoes that have been roasted. Chat. I saw Marco at the supermarket. We chatted for about 10 minutes about his trip to Canada.
智慧小补帖
Spectacular. Utensil. Marshmallow.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net